Hello, this is Ray Reyes, and I wanted to give you an update of what I've been doing for the last month. And I'd be remiss if I didn't start off by wishing all the veterans a happy Veterans Day. So, a heartfelt thank you from me to you veterans out there, particularly those of you that are away from home right now, that may be uh, working under harsh working conditions. And so, we really appreciate your sacrifice. And one thing I really like to remind everyone is that freedom is not free, and we owe it to you, veterans. So thanks again for everything that you do for us. And happy Veterans Day. I wanted to transition now to what I've been doing here this last month with regards to multifamily. First of all, I'd like to talk about a multifamily conference that I attended in October here in Orlando. It's kind of nice to be able to not have to go too far. But it was a great conference. The thing about multifamily conferences or any conference where you get together with folks is that on a material that you understand is that you get a chance to talk with like-minded people that are going after the same things, and you're there to network with them, potentially even look for ways that you can partner with them. Multifamily is definitely a team sport. It's not like single family where you can kind of do it all on your own. Generally speaking, maybe buy your own house, kind of rent it from there. This is definitely a team sport, and you need to bring a good team to tackle these properties and get them under contract and get them to the point where you're cash flowing nicely. In the conference, I did want to highlight, we had fantastic speakers there as well, and one that for sure that I wanted to bring your attention is Eric Thomas, and he is a fantastic motivational speaker. I can't say enough about how he conveys his message, and not only how he conveys his message, but what his actual message is and how it resonates. And his content it was very focused on the multifamily, but at the same time, it's something that you could really apply to many areas of your life. Um, One of the things that he talked about was that I thought was important to highlight to you all is, he asked that when you're going after anything in life, especially things that are difficult, that perhaps the best way to ensure that you do it to the best of your ability is focus on what your motivation is. And one of the motivations for him, and I think it's true for most of us, is that there are people out there that are counting on us. They're counting on us in many ways. Obviously, from a wealth building perspective, people are counting on us to be able to provide for one, our spouses. Definitely, they depend on us. Sometimes they also are part of the solution, and they also provide. But for sure, it would be great as we move forward to really be able to be in a position where you know maybe you and your spouse don't have to work so hard, and then you're comfortable retiring, and then you retire early. And retirement means different things to different people, but at the end of the day, the key is that you are living a happy life, and I think that's important. So our spouses, our children motivate us. They count on us, and our children's children someday, depending on where you are in life, they definitely motivate you. So to create that generational wealth is not so much about you; it's about those that are counting on you. And the better that you can do this, the better their lives are going to be. And on top of the fact that you can provide for your family, there are other people out there that potentially could be counting on you as well. Donations that you give, your time that you volunteer, the less you have to work, the more you can actually give back potentially, depending on what kind of work do you do. So I think those are the keys about building wealth. It's not so much about the money; it's about it's about giving back. It's about who are those people that are driving you towards that better self. And at the end of the day, it comes down to, and this is a quote from him, is like we want to make the rest of our lives the best of our lives. And I think that's a key point there. I want to transition now to the next topic, or the next event that I wanted to highlight for this last month. And that was a webinar that I participated in, or I listened into from Yardi Matrix. And Yardi Matrix is a company that specializes in, it's a leading company in commercial property market intelligence. And so they gave a presentation with regards to where they see the state of the market, the multifamily market per se, and they also touched on single family, but focusing on multifamily. And it's a pretty good look. One of the things that they highlighted was that, that the demographics and lifestyle are leading us to an increased rental population. They're fueling a strong demand in multifamily, and it's roughly about 425 rentals or units that are needed per year. I'm sorry, 425,000 rentals that are needed per year to just keep up with demand. And the supply right now is about 300,000 per year. So you can see there, and if you've been reading the news, you know that we've actually been short on multifamily and on cheaper living spaces for folks. And so that's going to continue to be a concern as we go forward here. But it's an opportunity for those that want to invest in multifamily, because they're going to be in a position of they're going to be in a position where they're going to be doing well based on the fact that the demand, the occupancy is going to be high, um, and so it's a good position to be in if you can get into this business. And obviously that's what we're trying to do, for not just for ourselves but other people as well. Um, some of the things on the lifestyle that are worth highlighting are, and this is not a huge surprise, but it's worth mentioning, an aging population. This one's kind of interesting. Increasing divorce rates. I hadn't realized that's where we were, but I guess that is the state of affairs. And then it's also more, or it's also younger people that are living at home. And so all of those contribute to an increased demographic of renters. One thing that was interesting, and it's different, they expect to see, and they've already started to see, that lifestyle rents are actually rising, and they're seeing a falling of rents for renters, for the renters by necessity, which is a good thing. That's what we want to see. We want to be able to, if you're in that B class space, you're able to raise rents, and these are the people that can afford to buy potentially, but prefer to rent. So that lifestyle lends itself well to, folks that are making a little bit more money. So it's a good thing. And then those that are renting because they don't have a choice, seeing those rents drop a little bit, while that may not be what some folks in a C class want to hear, I think it's not a bad story either. It's not a complete drop off, but it's just a flattening of those rents. So I think overall that's good, because that is one of the biggest concerns that we have, is affordability of housing and the lack of affordability of housing, actually. So one other thing that was mentioned by the briefer was that we expect to continue to see demographic growth in concentrated areas, specifically the South and the West, which is great here for me because of where I'm looking, and for the folks that are looking to potentially invest with me, because I'm looking in places where the demographic growth and the economic growth will continue to drive favorable conditions for multifamily. Uh, and part of that is both in Orlando and Tampa, which are two of the key areas where we continue to look for properties, is that there are tech hubs in those cities, and those tech hubs actually is a driver of intellectual capital to those areas. So you bring in, very smart individuals that command higher pay raise or pay wage or higher wages, excuse me, and that those higher paying jobs actually drive the economy, and it kind of continues to bubble up, or at least continues, in a sense that we continue to see these areas grow their technology hubs. So that's actually a very good sign for us here. So overall, multifamily continues to be a solid vehicle for building wealth. That's not a surprise. All of the material that I post on my website and the blogs and some of the news is all sort of driving to the same thing. It's not going to be the kind of growth where you can, close your eyes and wherever you land, there's an opportunity. No, it's going to be a little bit more selective. And so long as the folks that are looking for properties are going through the proper process and are doing a conservative underwriting, we should continue to see growth and being able to use multifamily to grow your wealth. But we are finding that these deals are harder to find, and so there is that where there's opportunity. There's a lot more folks that are looking, so it creates certainly a fierce competition to find these properties. A lot of them, which are what we consider off-market properties, they never get listed per se by the broker. They're just like properties that are there. Either we deal directly with the owners, or somehow we build a good relationship with a broker, and they're willing to provide us the information on that multifamily that's for sale before it goes out to the greater community. Speaking of finding multifamily, one other thing to highlight is and it's a good story for me and for our team, is that we actually have another multifamily property under contract in Tampa. So it's a 56 unit property, and very excited to be able to do that. And we continue to look for other properties. Like I've mentioned to you all, if you're interested in investing in multifamily, please reach out. And we'll definitely, the next time we find one we get one under contract that makes sense, we'll definitely pass that information to you, because there is enough to go around on these. And these larger properties require a few more investors than you typically would need in a single family market. And this is just a picture of the property. It's a nice looking property. It's off the bay, and in Apollo Beach area. So yeah, very happy about that. That's all I wanted to kind of highlight for this month. Look forward to continuing to pass good information. And please, if this is something that was useful to you, please reach out. If you actually want to get the full briefing from Yardi Matrix, also reach out. I'll make sure that you actually can go to their website and get I'll give you the link to the website so you can download it, because it does require that you register for it. But I do encourage that you do that. So please reach out if you have any questions regarding that. And until next time, thank you.